Hello Champagne Dreamers and welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl, Miss J, your trash queen of glam, geek, and gore. And for today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about skincare. I know that skincare is something that I've seen popping up a lot on the makeup channels that I watch. And I know that some people who are into skincare are not into makeup. Some people who are into makeup are not into skincare. Some people are into both. Some people are into neither. But I do a lot with my skincare. And I've really been playing with my skincare routine over the years. And I'm still working on it. My skin is by no means perfect, I promise you. I still have some problems. I still have some issues. But I did some training that we're going to talk about that really helped me understand the sort of science of skincare and cut through a lot of the hype. So if you want to learn more about skincare and how to build a routine, especially if you're an oily face beast like me, then get comfortable and get ready to go because we're getting into it right now. I've been interested in skincare since my 20s, and I've been doing little things here and there, and I didn't really know how to build a skincare routine. I, like a lot of people, assumed that you had to buy a set. So if you bought something from one brand, you had to buy all the steps from that brand. And I didn't always know what the products were doing or why I was using them or what order I was supposed to use them in or any of that kind of stuff. Now, when I was a graduate student, I actually spent a short time as an Avon lady. Cue the MLM rage! I know people hate MLMs and all that kind of stuff. I always feel like Avon is a little bit different. It's got some of those MLM aspects, but I feel like they're less predatory. They're a little bit less aggressive. Avon is just one of those ancient, established companies. And I was using some of the products, and then my Avon lady moved, and so I became our Avon lady for the people that I worked with and for myself. So I was never in it to like build a new career or whatever, but I really loved some of the products and I wanted to be able to get them, and I figured why not get them at a discount, so I became my very own ding-dong Avon calling lady. Now, part of what Avon did at the time, and I don't know if they still do this, but they had a program that was called Beauty Advisor. And so Beauty Advisor was a training program that you could take. And at the time, they had this extra line called Becoming. It was something that they were supposed to launch in Sears. And then Sears, after they developed this whole line and they had packaging and they had ordered all these units, Sears decided to close all of their cosmetics operations. So Avon was stuck with all this product. They're like, what do we do? And we're like, well, we'll train people on makeup and skincare. We'll give them this additional training and then they can sell the Becoming line. And what I liked about this training is that it was not product training. There was nothing in the training that mentioned specific products, like this is how you use this Becoming product or this Avon product. It was completely product neutral. It was about, this is how you do skincare. This is the way that skincare works. And it really was a very good introduction. Now, I do have to say, because of the nature of this video, I am not an esthetician. I am not somebody who has gone to any sort of formal licensed dermatological training. But I have taken this training program. This is what I use to build my own skincare. Before you make any major changes to your own skincare routine, definitely, consult with an esthetician or consult with a dermatologist. I am not an expert. I'm not taking any liability if you fuck yourself up. I'm just telling you what I do and what I learned through this program because it really helped me transform. Before I felt like I was just slapping things on my face willy-nilly, and now I feel like I have a better understanding of how skincare works. One of the things that was at the core of this training program that I took through the Avon Beauty Advisor program was the order that you should. I mean, obviously nobody has to do skincare, but if you're going to do a skincare routine, these are sort of the steps that you should do. And once you know a little bit more about them, they make sense. Now, I should say, nobody should feel pressured that they have to have a skincare routine. Nobody should feel like they have to do 10 steps, 15 steps, 20 steps. What I'm going to show you is a little bit extra, but that's because I like skincare. I like that pampering feeling. especially when I'm traveling. I love to come home to the hotel and I love to be able to like use these beautiful, lush, wonderful smelling products and create this sort of pampering spa-like environment. So I just like it. At the end of the day, if you want to, you could just wash your face and slap on an SPF. Like, you don't need to do skincare. So don't ever feel like you have to do it. But if you want to protect damage to your skin as you're aging, there's different things that you can do to really help that. So basically, the steps that make up a typical skincare routine, again, according to this training that I took, was cleanse, tone, treat, moisturize. And basically what you're doing in those steps is you are washing away and getting rid of anything that's sort of accumulated on your face. If you have excess oil, if you have dirt, if you have any kind of pollutants and things, you're wanting to kind of strip it bare and clean it up, and then you're building it back up again with additional products. So the first two steps, cleanse and tone, are really about getting your skin back to zero, back to that kind of place where it's ready to absorb good things and ready to absorb more moisture and ready to really kind of help try to repair itself and get itself, built up so that it can face the day and face the environment. So the first step is cleansing. If you've got a ton of money and you want to spend a ton of money on a cleanser, you do you, boo-boo, that's fine. But cleansing is one of those things that you really don't have to spend much money on because it's something you're going to put on your face and you're going to wash it off again. So it's not something that needs to have really expensive ingredients. It's not something that really needs to have a lot of product to it. It's just something that needs to go in and clean your face. Now, if you are a makeup wearer, it is recommended that you do a double cleanse. So you want to do an additional cleanse at the beginning that's going to break up and wipe up a lot of your makeup. So that's going to be, maybe like a micellar water. What I typically do when I'm taking off one of these faces is I will soak a makeup wipe. I know they're bad for the environment. Let me be. And I'll soak it in micellar water and I'll take everything off, and then I will go and wash my face and do the rest of my skincare routine. So you want something that's going to break up and remove the makeup first, and then you want to do your regular cleanser. So my typical cleanser that I use, I don't spend very much. This is like $12. This is from Soap and Glory. This is the Vitamin C Facial Wash. I absolutely love this. The smell on this is absolutely divine. You can get it at Ulta. I think you can get it at Target. Super easy, but again, it's got some great ingredients. It's a nice cleanser. It leaves my face feeling refreshed, and it's just a simple, inexpensive cleanser. The second step is toner. Now, toner, sometimes people think is meant to be something that really kind of strips away additional dirt or impurities. And really, if your cleanser is doing a good job, and if you're doing that double cleansing to remove makeup, you shouldn't be getting a lot of makeup or dirt on your pad when you use your cleanser. That's really not what it's supposed to be for. Once you've cleared everything off, you can use a toner to help do any light chemical exfoliation or to really kind of help balance the pH on your face. Get it back to zero. Get it back, not a pH of 0, but get it back to this nice kind of balanced place. Get it back to your baseline. I like to use this Mario Badescu glycolic acid toner. So this has glycolic acid, which is a light chemical exfoliant. I like to use that to keep my skin looking a little bit brighter, taking away any kind of dead spots on my skin. I don't really like to mix chemical exfoliation and physical exfoliation. But every once in a while, I do want a little bit of physical exfoliation. So if I do that, I make sure that I don't use my toner for that day. So physical exfoliation is where you have some sort of product, like a scrub, that has some sort of grit or granule in it, and you lightly buff it across the skin, and it'll help sort of pick up dead skin and sort of wear it away. Now, you don't want to use anything too aggressive, and you don't want to do this too often. I remember years ago seeing a YouTube video of somebody who said that they were using St. Ives apricot scrub 3 times a day, and I'm surprised that her face was not fucking ground beef. I mean, it's just, you don't want to do extra damage to your face. Physical exfoliators, you want to be really careful because what you're doing is creating little abrasions. Like, yes, you're abrading away the dead skin and things that need to go, but you can also create little cuts and little abrasions on the healthy skin. So you want to do this infrequently. I've always heard, maybe at most once to twice a week. I don't even do it once a week. Every once in a while, if I'm just feeling like my skin is a little bit dull or seems a little bit too gray, I will sometimes do a physical exfoliator, but most of the time I just let my chemical exfoliation work. And like I said, if I do a physical exfoliator, I don't combine the two. I skip my toner for that day. Now my favorite to use is the Queen Helene. They have quite a few different scrubs. This is the pomegranate and raspberry scrub. I really like this one. It's got a really fine granule to it, and so I will use this maybe once every 2 weeks. And I use this before I do my cleansing. So I make sure that I get into the shower and I do a little bit of exfoliation, and then I do my cleanser, and then when I get out of the shower, I do the rest of my skincare routine. Now there are a lot of spray toners that are available. This is from formula 10.0.6. I don't know what the fuck is up with that name. But this is the Bee Berry Balanced Nourishing Spray Toner with grape and vitamin B3. And I don't mind this. I've used this and I've used a few other spray toners. I don't love a spray toner. If I'm going to use one, I will spray it on my face and I'll still use a cotton pad. I feel like I get better coverage. I feel like I just get a better kind of feeling when I use it with a cotton pad and smooth it out all over the face. So if you use a spray toner, it's nothing against the ingredients. I just prefer the experience of making sure that I go over it with a cotton pad to smooth it over my whole face. So now we're going to get into the treatment section. And of course, right now I'm going through my daytime skincare routine. And once I get through the whole daytime, I'm going to go ahead and I will talk about what the differences are between my daytime and my nighttime routine. Besides the fact that I actually remember to do my daytime routine. I know. Terrible. I'm an old lady who just falls asleep on her couch and I forget to do the nighttime. It's fine. For the treatment, I have a few products that I like to use. And what I like to do, because you don't need a ton of them, but because I've got this big old potato face, I like to put all of my treatment serums together in my palm at one time, mix them all together, and then rub them over my face and down on my neck. Don't forget your neck. You don't want to get to 50 and have a 35-year-old face and a 50-year-old neck, because then you just look 50 with a 35-year-old face, and it's creepy. Don't forget the neck. So I forgot one of them. I don't know how that happened. I use the Tarte Mermaid Skin Hyaluronic Acid Serum. I use that during the day to get some hyaluronic acid and additional little chemical exfoliant. I also like the Pharmacy Very Cherry Bright Vitamin C. As you get older, vitamin C is better for your skin. I've seen it recommended that as you turn 50, you should start adding regular vitamin C in. I always like to start on those things early, so when I hit 40, I started looking for vitamin C products, and I've been trying the Pharmacy. I like this one. I don't know that I'm sold on it forever, but it's one that I am working through, and I'm almost done with this bottle. When I finish that, I do have my backup already purchased, and that is the Glow Recipe. This is the Pineapple C Bright Serum. I've had this before, and I like the results that I get from it. What I don't love about it is the smell. When you're putting it on, it smells like you're putting room temperature pineapple juice on your face. Like if you've ever had a drink that had pineapple juice in it and you let it get warm, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? It's like that, but you're putting it on your face on purpose. But I did like the effects, so I decided this is about $20 cheaper than the Pharmacy, so I may go back to that one at some point in the future, but when that one's finished, I'm going to move on to this. And the other treatment product that I have is from The Ordinary, and this is a niacinamide 20% serum. Niacinamides have been really big in skincare lately, and so I wanted to include some in my skincare routine, so I use this during the day. And The Ordinary is a great affordable brand. I think this bottle was about $7 or $8, so it's a pretty good serum. It's a pretty good way to get niacinamides into your skincare. Now the last step is moisturizer. And when it comes to moisturizer, you're doing two basic things. And I actually like to have two moisturizers to do those things because I think they do them differently. And you want to make sure that you are covering both of your bases. So the first thing, you've really kind of stripped your skin down at this point, right? So you've cleansed it, you've toned it, you've gone over some things, and then you put those serums and things into your skin, but you want to make sure that you're also moisturizing it. And so I will use something like the Tarte Drink of H2O. So this is something that's got water, it's got a lot of absorption ingredients, and so it's a nice gel consistency, and so it's a really great option to just give your skin a boost of hydration. And then I'll go over that with a little bit thicker of a cream, because the other thing your moisturizer should do is create a barrier to try to keep dirt and impurities off your skin. So this is the one that I use to give my skin a little drink of moisture. And then I put a moisturizer on top of that. So this is the Glam Glow Moisture Trip Omega Rich Moisturizer. I'm almost done with this bottle. I'm not 100% sold on it. I don't know. I like it, but I don't love it. I loved the Glam Glow Volcasmic moisturizer. It was wonderful. It was a mattifying moisturizer. It was so good for oily skin. This one still feels pretty light on my skin, but it's not perfect. So I'm trying this right now. When I'm done, I'm going to try some other things and just see if I can find one that I like as good, because Glam Glow stabbed me in the heart and discontinued my Volcasmic moisturizer. Now, when I finish up with those two moisturizers, I do have different ones that I want to try out. In place of the Tarte Drink of H2O, I do have this Glam Glow Water Burst. I've tried a couple samples of this from Sephora and I kind of liked it. And it's got the sort of consistency that I think it would be a good hydrator. And so I'm going to try this one next and see if I like it. This one I think is a little bit more expensive than the Tarte, so unless it's really, really good, I probably won't replace it permanently, but I figured I would give it a shot. And after I'm done with the Glam Glow, I'm going to try the Milk Vegan Milk Moisturizer. I'm interested to try this. Any of the makeup products that I've tried from Milk I haven't really liked, because so many of them are so oily, and so I'm worried that this is going to feel too heavy. So this might be a good time to talk about oily skin and talk about some of my concerns that I have as an oily beast. So there are some myths about oily skin that I had to unlearn. The first one is that oil is just bad. So your skin naturally produces oil. It's called sebum. And having some of that oil is not a bad thing. It helps your skin maintain some of that moisture. It helps things move throughout the skin. It's not a bad thing. For oily people, it just means that we're producing a little bit too much. And so that's why you'll get that oily sheen on the skin, and throughout the day you might start to look a little shiny. You're just producing more than you maybe need, but it doesn't mean that oil is bad. And it doesn't mean that products with oil in them are bad for your skin as well. What I've found with oily skin is that it's about finding things that you like that sit nicely on your skin and that you feel comfortable with. A perfect example of that is argan oil. Argan oil is a wonderful ingredient that can do lovely things to your skin. I fucking hate it. I cannot walk past a Josie Maran display without feeling like a grease pit. I don't like the way that argan oil sits on my skin. It feels heavy, it feels greasy. So even though argan oil is doing good things for my skin, I don't like to have it because it feels uncomfortable. So it doesn't mean that you should avoid all oils in your skincare. And for some products, it's going to be hard to avoid oils in general, but it's about finding consistencies that you like and that work with your skin. So some things that I've found to be really helpful is that if you see things that are described as being a creme, when they do that fancy Frenchy bullshit spelling, C-R-E-M-E with a little accent, that's going to be some oily shit. So be careful with that. There are some moisturizers that I've tried. The Ulla Henriksen Nurture Me. I actually really like that, and that's one that's described as a creme. But that's one that's going to let you know it's going to be a little bit more emollient. It may tend to be a little bit heavier, a little bit greasier. Now, on the other hand, if something refers to itself as a gel or mattifying, those are two words that I look for that tell me that this is probably better for oily skin. It's going to be more generally suited to what oily skin people are looking for, or at least what I'm looking for. So looking for things that are gel formulations, things that say lightweight, cloud. When I hear the word cloud, that often means it's a lighter, looser, airier kind of formulation. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to use those products or that you can't use the creme products. It just means, again, that you want to look for things that when you put them on your face, you feel comfortable. That's what's most important. And that's another thing to keep in mind when you're looking at skincare products on a website and they tell you that they're good for normal, oily, dry, and combination skin. So when you see a skincare product that says it's good for all skin types, what that means is that the ingredients in the product for what it's trying to do will do those things on any skin type. it doesn't mean that it's going to work well with your oily skin or with your dry skin. So for example, vitamin C is something that's meant to brighten your complexion. Now, vitamin C will do that on dry skin, it'll do it on oily skin, it'll do it on normal skin, on combination skin. Vitamin C just does that. That's what it does. But that doesn't mean that the formulation of this product will sit comfortably on your oily skin. So even though something says it's good for all skin types, you're still going to want to, be a little wary, look at what kind of formulation it has. You'll start to recognize ingredients that maybe indicate that it's too emollient or like too thick for you. You'll want to look for that, because I would get frustrated. I would see these products, they say they're good for all skin types. I would try it out and I would feel like a grease ball. Well, because the thing that it was advertising itself to do, it was doing that. It just was doing it in a formulation that was too heavy with my particular skin type. So unless something is specifically formulated to address dry skin or oily skin or combination skin, a lot of times it will say that it's good for all skin types because it's doing something that has nothing to do with the level of oil on your skin. So those products are all products that I use during the day, because during the day I want to feel light. I don't want to feel like I have a bunch of thick, greasy products as I'm producing my own oil, as I'm sweating, as I'm out in the world and there's dirt and pollutants. I want something that's going to be lightweight and feel fresh on my skin. Now at nighttime, I don't give a shit. If I'm going to bed, I'm going to be asleep. I don't care if I feel greasy. So that's where if I have products that are a little bit thicker and they don't feel comfortable during the day, but I feel like they give my skin good benefits, that's where I'll use them. And I'll often layer on additional treatment products, and I'll put more on because I'm just going to go lay down and go to sleep. It can sink in and it can do its work. So my nighttime routine is a little bit different. The only thing that's really the same for my nighttime routine is I still use my Soap and Glory cleanser. Again, because it's something you're just putting on your face to get dirt and impurities and wash them off. I don't need anything super special from a cleanser, so I just use the same cleanser for my nighttime routine. For nighttime, I will usually skip the toner step, or if I've had like a filming day or I've worn makeup that day, I will use toner just to kind of help balance the skin again. I'll often use a spray toner in the evening, and again, just wipe it in and pat it in with a cotton pad. Then when we get to treatment products, this is where I like to play. So I have 3 that are my standard products, but then if I get any little samples like deluxe minis from Sephora, or if I have some sample packages of things that I want to try, I'll usually work them in with my treatment products. So the 3 things that I have for treatment at night are, this is the Pixie Overnight Retinol Oil, so I get a little bit of retinol in my routine. This is some plant-derived squalane. This is also from The Ordinary, so this is a nice, affordable option. And then because I don't use that Tarte Mermaid Skin in the evening, I do have a bottle of hyaluronic acid from The Ordinary. So I do use hyaluronic acid twice a day. I will use it with the Tarte in the morning, and then in the evening, when I remember to do my skincare routine, I use The Ordinary. And then, like I said, I like to just mix in different samples and things. I did get several samples of the Sunday Riley A+ high dose retinoid serum. And so I have been adding this into my treatment products. Anything that you get, if you want to try something or if you want to work something in, or if you've had like a moisturizer or something that just feels too heavy for the daytime, nighttime is a perfect time to do that, because as long as it doesn't interfere with you being able to go to sleep, that's a perfect time to have those heavier products. Then I like to finish it off with a moisturizer, and I have been loving the Laneige sleeping mask, especially the lavender. The original smell is okay, but the lavender, I love anything that's lavender scented. I know some people are all about fragrance and they yap about it. Some people are sensitive to fragrance, some people are not. I love it. I haven't had any discernible reactions to it, and so I absolutely enjoy this. I love the lavender smell, and I just think that this is a joy. And for a moisturizer, it's pretty inexpensive. It's only $25. Now, after I've done my moisturizer, I do have 2 other products that I put on top of it. And I put these on after my moisturizer just because I like to put a lot on. I put it on thick. Like thick with 3 C's. Thick. I like to put a lot on. And I don't want, when I put my moisturizer, to move it around. So I put on some sort of eye cream. So this is the Origins Ginseng Refreshing Eye Cream. I like it, but I don't love it. As soon as this is done, I'm probably going to go back to... I had the Ulla Henriksen, I think it was the banana cream, and that was alright. I still haven't found an eye cream that I love, but I like to put this on in the evening after my moisturizer, just slather it really thick underneath my eyes. The other thing that I like to put on is a lip sleeping mask. So this is the Laneige Sleeping Care in Sweet Candy. This fragrance was a limited edition. It smells so good. I just want to eat it out of the jar. I have a few others. I have the gummy bear one. It smells so good. I have the vanilla one. I really love this, and I love to just put this on thick. And sometimes I'll even apply it twice at night. So if I do my skincare a little bit early before I go to bed, like if I put on my skincare and then I go watch a movie, I will put this on really thick, and then it starts to kind of soak in and evaporate. And so before I go to bed, right before I hop into bed, I'll put on another thick layer. I really like to make sure that I put a lot of this on and moisturize my lips. Not that you'd be able to tell from some of my recent Face Friday posts, I need to exfoliate my lips more. I'm a mess. Now, the last thing you should do in your skincare routine is you should make sure you add an SPF. Can I make a confession? I don't actually have an SPF that I like. I've tried a few. I don't love them. I don't spend a lot of time in the sun. I run from one cave to another. I run from my house to my car to my office to my car to my house. I try not to go out in the sun very often, so I know I should wear SPF. That's one of the steps that you should put it on, and it should be your last step after your moisturizer. So whatever your last product is, it should always be the one that has SPF in it. So do the cleanse, tone, treat, moisturize, and then put an SPF to kind of seal it all in and protect your skin. I don't have an SPF to show you because I just don't have one that I like. Sorry. I know. Skincare Twitter is gonna roast me. In terms of lip care, I also use the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm throughout the day most days. I have a few other lip balms, but the Laneige ones I really do love. This is the new Gummy Bear fragrance, which is so good. I absolutely love it. And so I love to use a lip balm. I was a little nervous about this and the lip mask because if you've seen Jen Love's reviews video, I will link it up in the cards. She did a Why Your Lip Balm Sucks video where she ranked and talked about and dissected the ingredients on all these different lip balms. And I was so worried she was going to say something terrible about Laneige because I love it. And while it wasn't at the top of her list, it wasn't doing anything bad. She said, there's nothing bad about this lip balm, but we can do better. And I was like, that's all I need to hear, because Jen Love's Reviews is my oracle, my goddess when it comes to ingredients on skincare and makeup. And so as long as she says that it's not doing me any harm, I'm going to keep up with it. I know I could probably do better, but I just love the different scents that they have and the different flavors. It's fantastic. The last thing that I want to talk about related to skincare is masking. Now, masks are not required. They're not a typical part. You shouldn't necessarily be doing a mask every single day, but I love them. I feel so pampered and so special when I do a mask on my face. I love how it makes me feel. I love what it does for my skin. You really can't overdo it. Like if you did the same type of mask over and over and over again, I suppose at some point you're going to hit a plateau for that day of how much of an ingredient or how much of a treatment it's going to do. And I suppose if you're doing a clay mask, it's going to it can keep sucking out moisture or whatever, but you can't really abuse them. So you can do multiple types of masks at one time. I love them, and you can find really good ones that are inexpensive. Now, the main two types of masks that you're going to find in general are clay or mud masks and gel masks. And as an oily beast, I live and die for a good mud mask. One of the things that mud masks are known to do is they will go and they will absorb a lot of that excess oil. So if you're an oily beast, a good mud mask is going to be your best friend. It's really going to help treat and balance your skin, absorb some of that excess oil, and just really make you feel good and fresh, and your skin will be plump and beautiful. Now, if you have dry skin and you're doing a lot of clay masks, girl, be ready, get your camel, because you're going to be trekking through the Sahara. It's just going to get drier and drier. And that's why they have gel masks, because gel masks are a lighter consistency. The gel is not necessarily meant to soak up any moisture like any oil. And so it's more about putting a layer on the skin that then delivers some ingredients, some sort of benefit into the surface of your skin, and then you peel it off and remove it. So if you're an oily person, you're going to get more benefits from the clay or the mud mask. If you are drier, you're going to get more benefits from the gel, those kind of peel-off masks. Now, that doesn't mean you can't do both. I like to sometimes mix them up, where I will do a mud mask, and then after I do the mud mask, I will do a gel mask. So I'll soak up all the excess oil, and once my skin has been kind of cleaned off, I'll do a quick cleanse of it, and then I'll do a gel mask, and then I'll do the rest of my skincare. So those can be really fantastic. Now, there are also those sheet masks that are just like a liquid in those little cotton or fiber masks. Those are okay, and I do love those for a quick pick-me-up. It can be a good stress reliever. If you don't want people to talk to you on planes, I have found pulling one of those masks out and putting it on your face, people don't want to talk to you. They think you're fucking weird, and I love it. So if you want to avoid conversation on planes, I also recommend it for that. But I will sometimes just do one of those. And one thing that I actually heard from Angelica Nyqvist from Sweden, she likes to take her serums and her skincare treatments, put them on her face, and then put one of those masks over, let it sit for like 10-15 minutes, and it just helps boost those serums and that treatment. And it's a really great way to pamper your skin and just feel fabulous. So I absolutely love that idea. Sometimes I will do that. I'll just put on a whole, especially if I've got new things I want to try, or I've got a whole bunch of treatment products at night, I'll start my skincare a little early, and I will put all of my treatment products on, and then I'll put one of those masks down that's maybe got some like strawberry or some blueberry. It's got a nice scent, and it's got some of those antioxidants or those brightening agents, and just put that on and just sit and listen to some music, put on some Kesha, and just sit for 15 minutes and luxuriate in the feeling. So I absolutely love that. And again, with masking, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. There are expensive masks that are great, but you can get really good ones. My favorite in the world, if you are oily, is the Queen Helene Mint Julep Mask. I have been using that since my early 20s. I will use it until I am cold and dead in the ground, or till Queen Helene stops making that shit, because I love it. It's super cheap. A lot of times you can find it for $7 or less. I used to buy it for $2.50 at Walmart when Walmart used to carry it. And it's just this beautiful green clay. It smells minty and delicious, and it just hardens into this hard cake on your face, and you wipe it off, and it soaks up all your oil, and it leaves your skin bright and beautiful. That's one of my absolute favorites. I'm actually out of it. I need to place an order because I need to get more. But I have a lot of good masks as well from another brand that I mentioned earlier with the toner. It's available at Ulta, and it's formula 10.0.6. Again, I don't know what the fuck is up with that name. But they have a whole selection of great mud and peel-off masks. So for the mud mask, I have the Deep Down Detox Ultra Cleansing Mud Mask with orange and bergamot, the Pores Be Pure Skin Clarifying Mud Mask with strawberry and yarrow, and the Take Back Control Oil Controlling Mud Mask with cacao and charcoal. If you are an oily beast, I love this almost as much as I love the Queen Helene. Not quite, but it's almost there. It's so close. I absolutely love this. It's really good for controlling the oil production on your face. I also have this Turn Up the Heat self-warming clay mask with charcoal and ginger. This one is a lot of fun because you put it on and it actually warms, and so you get this sort of warm treatment. And I like to follow it up when I wash it off. I wash it off with cold, cold, cold water. So you get that like warmth and that sort of like, it gets warm enough, it's almost like a steaming of your face. It's not quite that intense, but it's pretty close. And then putting on the cold water, oh, it's just so refreshing and amazing. I love that. And then in terms of gel masks, I have two. The Keep Your Cool Skin Calming Gel Mask with Coconut and Cucumber, as well as the Bee Berry Smooth Moisturizing Peel Mask with Blueberry and Pineapple. This sounds delicious. I just want to eat it. Now you'll notice these bottles don't look as used and they don't look as messy. That's because I don't use the peel masks as often. I definitely am a mud mask bitch. I love it.
Mud mask bitch.
Mud mask bitch. And of course, it wouldn't be a skincare video if we didn't have a short in memoriam segment where I talk about the product that was the holy grail for my oily skin that has been discontinued. And that is the Burt's Bees Garden Tomato Toner. I have never, and I suspect I will never find a product that was so good with my oily skin. It was less than $10. Put it on a cotton pad and it would just, my skin, it smelled like a fucking salad, but it felt so good and so clean and so refreshed whenever I finished it. And it just really worked so well on oil control. It was absolutely amazing. So, Burt's Bees, I'm putting this call out. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, now that you're watching us from above, if you could work on getting the Garden Tomato Toner put back on the shelves, I'd appreciate it. So that is my skincare video. Again, I'm not an esthetician. I'm not a dermatologist. I'm just a bitch who has tried every single product and I've struggled and I know all of the problems that you can run into, and so I just have really had to work a long time, and I don't find a lot of really great information about oily skin on YouTube, and so I thought I would make this video and kind of go through what I'm using now, talk about what I'm loving, why I love it, how I use it, and all that kind of stuff. So if you have any questions or if you want to know more about that Beauty Advisor training program that I took back in the day when I was an Avon lady, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if you have found a replacement for the Garden Tomato Toner that you love, let me know all of that shit down in the comments. I want to hear it. I want to know about it. I'm so excited about it. So I love skincare. It's my time to pamper myself and be kind to myself and just really feel wonderful and special. So definitely let me know any suggestions and let me know what you thought down in the comments below. So if you like this video, don't forget to go and give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either way, we'll take the engagement. The algorithm doesn't give a shit. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you get notifications of all my future uploads. I upload at least once a week, usually on Tuesdays, and sometimes I have a bonus video for you during the week. Ooh, spicy. If you'd like to chat, banter, or commiserate between uploads, don't forget that all of my social media will be linked down in the description box below, as well as a link to my website, The World of Champagne, at janessaj.com. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all of you. Here's to pampering our skin and feeling better during this shit show of a year. And until I see you again, bye.